Welcome to the Dynasty Dugout Show, a podcast covering all things minor league baseball. Get a front row seat to the action with everything you need to know about the future stars of Major League Baseball. And now, here's your host, Chris Clegg.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. It's Monday. It's April the 28th. We had another great weekend of minor league baseball. I'm going to break it all down. There's a lot to talk about. But before we get into that, if you saw the news, I recorded my final episode of the Toolshed Pod as a co-host there with Eric Cross. Very thankful for 388 episodes, nearly 400. Really crazy that we were able to grow that show like we did into what it was. And it was absolutely incredible journey. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm so thankful for the time, the 4.5, 5 years. I guess we started in November 2020. And yeah, it was an awesome run. But a lot of times good things have to come to an end. And that's the case for me. And I will be continuing here on this show. This will be the only place you can hear my voice, other than guest appearances on other podcasts. But this will be the feed you want to be on. Subscribe to the YouTube. I'll be doing video. Actually, we're going to take this thing to a whole new level, just being honest with you. We are going to take the show and make it a legit production. I'm going to pour money into it. I'm going to do it right to make this not just a podcast, but a show that you want to watch every single day. I'm working on all those details. We're going to do a little rebranding. Dynasty Dugout stays the same. Nothing changes with that. But I hope to make this a top-notch production show. So subscribe to your favorite podcast feed, Spotify, Apple Pods, whatever it is, it's there. Like, it's this feed. You can subscribe to this feed and you'll get the show whenever it comes out every single day. And on the YouTube, if you like the video. And like I said, it's going to be a legit show. We're going to have interviews with players, with people in the game. We're going to have nice graphics on the show, highlights, etc. We're going to make the production top-notch. And so those are all in the works. I'll have more details about all that pretty soon. But for now, we have a lot to talk about and cover. So let's dive in. But first, as you know, the show is brought to you by Connect Roasters. Yes, people joke about it in the Dynasty Dugout Discord. They're powered by Connect Roasters. We absolutely are. I drink it every single day. It's fantastic coffee. Connect Roasters is Ian Happ's coffee company. Go check it out. Use the code Dynasty Dugout or the link in the description, and you can get a bag of coffee. Buy one, get one 50% off, which is really good value. We're also partnering with Chinook Seedery, the best sunflower seeds in the game. I got my Cinnamon Toast Crunch seeds. These things are incredible. If you like the sweet flavor, those are good. Got Bobby Witt Jr. Specialty Lemon Pepper. I tried the Hatch Chili for the first time the other day. I forgot those were in my box, and I took the Hatch Chili to a game, had those, and they were really good. If you like a little kick, those are perfect. You get 10% off your order going to ChinookSeedery.com and using the code Dynasty Dugout. So be sure to check that out. That's enough of the ad reads, enough of the intro. It's a new era for Chris Clegg in the podcast circle. And I promise you to bring the best coverage of minor league baseball possible. That's what I've promised to you as the listener. So let's dive right in. What stood out over the weekend? What do you need to know? And what matters? Well, right off the top, I want to talk about Payton Tolle, a guy that I absolutely love. Tolle took a big jump this offseason. He averaged 91.5 on the fastball in college at TCU last year. He got good results and plenty of talent, but Tolle reinvented himself. He added 3 ticks to the fastball. He's sitting like 94 to 95 now, averaging like right in the middle. He's touching 97, which is really impressive. So definitely plenty to like on the fastball. Here's what makes it even better. It's a really flat vertical approach angle. It's unique. 5'5" release height, and Tolle is 6'6", so like it's a low slot from where he's throwing the ball from the left side. It makes it really tough for hitters to pick up. Oh, not only did he add velo, he has 7'7" of extension. Like, that's silly stuff. Payton Tolle's fastball is so good. The start yesterday in Spartanburg was out of this world good. His first start in Nashville was bad. Nobody wants to pitch in Nashville. They don't. It's not a good place to pitch. It was cold and wet when he pitched. He had 6 runs in an inning and a third. I don't count it against him at all. Tolle bounced back yesterday. 4 innings, 15 batters faced. He had 12 whiffs, 19 called strikes, and he had 9 strikeouts. 70% of his pitches went for strikes. It was utter domination. He throws 2 sliders. He used to throw a slider and a curve. Now it's slider sweeper. Slider's a harder cutter. It's 88 range, like in that range. And then the sweeper, 82 to 84 miles an hour. He does have a changeup in the upper 80s, touching 90. Doesn't use it often. I'd love to see the changeup further developed. I think that's the next step in Payton Tolle's development. Payton Tolle, Boston Red Sox. Red Sox pitch dev wins again. They are incredible. I think the Boston Red Sox have the best minor league pitch dev in baseball. It shows. Just look at the pitchers. They churn up and that improve. Like, there's guys that are really, really good. Go to the NL East. Jonah Tong shoved. Tong is such a fascinating arm. His delivery is unique. It's worrisome when I watch him. I don't love the delivery, but it works. Like, his delivery works, and he continues to shove. This was his best start of the year, though, I'd say. He had 19 whiffs, 11 more called strikes. He allowed just 1 hit and walk apiece. He struck out 10 batters in 4 scoreless. So really good start for Jonah Tong on Sunday. Fastball keeps ticking up. It ticked up last year. It was sitting 92, 93. Now it's ticked up more. It's like 94, 96 consistently. And it's a wicked fastball. Like, if you're watching the video on YouTube, like, that's a tough slot to pick up. And he's creating legit ride, like 20 to 22 inches of vert. Pretty absurd. He's touched 98 this season. It's impressive traits on it. He'll use a mid to upper 80s cutter, but really the curveball was what was doing the damage on Sunday. 6 of his 10 strikeouts came on the fastball, or on the curveball, excuse me. The changeup was really good too. You look at how that changeup profile works. It has really late movement on it and drop. It's a unique pitch in its own, and he missed several bats on it. It sits around 85. Really tough pitch. Yes, I do worry about Jonah Tong's delivery. I worry about his command at times. It's inconsistent, but you can't argue the stuff. He's in my top 100. I'll be dropping my new rankings this afternoon, so be sure to subscribe to the Dynasty Dugout to check that out. But Tong, yeah, he's pretty unique. A couple more pitchers to talk about. Jacob Misiorowski. Misiorowski is hitting must-stash for redraft leagues. I mean, the Brewers have an absurd amount of injuries for starting pitchers. They have more starters on the IL than they could fill a rotation with. That's wild, but that's where they are right now. I know they're getting some back, but Misiorowski's on the verge of getting the call-up. Jacob Misiorowski is a stud when he's on. The last 2 starts have been unreal. He had a 2-start week. He threw Tuesday and Sunday. On Tuesday, it was 6 scoreless with 8 strikeouts and just 2 base runners allowed. Sunday, 5 scoreless, 9 strikeouts, 3 hits, no walks. There's 3 base runners allowed. These 2 starts have been probably the 2 best starts in a row that he's had in his career. Like, he's looked legit. The fastball's averaging near 97. It's a low, again, Misiorowski's a big guy like Tolle. It's a low release. Like, it's a 5'2" release height. And it's got pretty insane characteristics. He creates vert. He creates arm side run. Very flat vertical approach angle. He throws a curveball that's just like insane, like at 85 from that release slot. It's got depth. It's got some sweep to it. And he'll throw a slider cutter in the 90s, 92, 93 range at touch 96. Pitch has some carry to it. Inch or 2 of horizontal. It's a really solid arsenal for sure. Unique look for hitters. Good stuff. Misiorowski is on the verge of getting that call up, in my opinion. Is it out of the bullpen? I don't know. But, I mean, he's up to 100, like, in a starter's role. I just imagine, like, what could Jacob Misiorowski do in the bullpen? He could easily pitch in the Brewers bullpen right now. But the fact that they're letting him go deep and it's working is pretty fascinating. And I actually like to see that a lot. So watch out for Jacob Misiorowski. Wouldn't be shocked to see him get the call soon at all. Neither would I about this guy, Parker Messick of the Cleveland Guardians. He's 24. He's in AAA. Former Florida State Seminole product. I think Messick is on the verge of the call, too. He's continuing to impress. He had his worst start in 2025 last time out. He bounced back on Sunday. 5 scoreless, 1 hit, and 1 walk with 8 strikeouts. He had 13 whiffs, a 40% CSW. He was highly efficient. 62 pitches for 5 innings, and he landed 67% of those pitches for strikes. His fastball won't wow you. Like, it's 92 to 93, but that is up, actually, from last year. You like to see that. It's a deceptive arm slot. It's a 5'7" release height. He creates above-average IVB from that release, so, like, think of IVB for pitchers like a rolling scale for release height. And Parker Messick is like above average for his release height bucket. Good VAA. I like the fastball. It tops at 96.5 this year. Like I said, the velocity's up. That's notable. But it's this changeup that you want to know about. Be wary of the changeup arms. But when you're a lefty and when you have some other offerings, it can work. Changeup's by far Parker Messick's best pitch. 85 miles an hour, late arm side fade. I think it's one of the best changeups in baseball from a performance standpoint. It's a 31.5% swinging strike rate on that pitch, which is nuts. That's all pitches thrown and swings. So, like, he's missing bats at a very high clip. It's like up to 17 inches of arm side fade. Messick does have a slider and a curveball. You know, that arsenal plays well, considering he's not flashy. He throws strikes at above average rates. He can miss bats. The fastball is good enough from the left side. Like, you don't need to be 95 from the left side when you have some stuff. Messick's interesting. I think he could find himself in the Guardians rotation pretty soon. It would not be shocking to me a bit. So, Parker Messick, 24, Cleveland Guardians org. Watch out for him. We have to talk about Hunter Barco because another start and another scoreless outing. It's just ridiculous at this point. He had a 2-start week. He was held back a little bit on Sunday because of that. Shorter rest than he's used to through Tuesday, Sunday. He just threw 3 innings, but 3 really good innings at that. He had 8 strikeouts, which was crazy in those 3 innings. He faced just 10 batters, allowed 1 hit, did not issue a walk. I mean, 15 swing and misses in 3 innings. Absurd. Like, it's really, really good stuff. 70% of his pitches went for strikes. It's interesting because now everybody's like, is Hunter Barco an ace? No, I don't think so. I think Hunter Barco is a really good, like, SP4 type if all clicks. Fastball's up to 95, like, sits around there. He's up to 97. It's a mid-80s slider. He's got a splitter. He's got a more traditional changeup. He throws 2 slider variations. It's a good arsenal. I don't think it's super flashy. I think the arm slot's really tough for hitters, and I think we're going to see Barco potentially have some regression as he hits AAA. Here's the reality. Chandler's going to be promoted to the major soon. Bubba Chandler, that is, and Hunter Barco is going to bump to triple. He's ready. He's age appropriate. He needs to be in AAA. Like, just move him on up. So he's good. Don't get me wrong. Good starter. I won't have him in my top 100, though, even though he's been dominant to start 2025. But what about Dasan Hill? He might be in my top 100. You have to check it later and see. Dasan Hill, left-handed pitcher in the Minnesota Twins org, 19 years old in single A. Hill's someone I liked at the draft. Like, him and Owen Hall kind of fell in that same bucket for me of, like, prep guys that, like, really could pop out of the second round. And Hill's doing so. Hill came into camp and his velocity was up. Like, the pitch data I got in February from Hill was like, whoa, he's up from like 92. All of a sudden, he's like 95, 96, touching 99. Like, who is this guy from the left side? Reiner, he's 19. He throws a sinker and a four-seamer. They're interesting movement profiles because the four-seam, they almost blend. Like, there's not much separation on the two between, like, IVB. And the sinker gets a little more horizontal. The four-seam gets a little more IVB, but not much. They almost blend at times, but it works. Like, the fastballs work. And Dasan Hill touched 20 inches of vert. That's really good from his release height. 6-foot release height. He touched 20. He averaged 16. Sinker was down to like 13 inches of vert. It's a high carry sinker, but he gets more arm side run on that sinker. The vertical approach angles are very similar on those two pitches. There's not a lot of distinction. I think it's just a kind of a floating range of IVB that he can run, which is good. Like, I love a pitcher that has the ability to do both. You can ride a fastball 20 inches. That's pretty legit. You can sink a fastball and get ground ball outs. Absolutely. You're a lefty and you're throwing 96 on average. Check, check, check for me. Not only that, but he has a slider that's really good. Had a 50% whiff rate on Saturday when he threw. Very high spinning pitch. It's 10 to 12 inches of sweep. 83 miles an hour. It works 79 to 84, so pretty good range there. He has a changeup and curve too. Changeup sits 84. It's got heavy arm side fade. It plays well off the sinker. I mean, talk about 16 inches of arm side movement from the changeup with depth. Yeah, that's good. Curveball negative 11 inches of IVB, so that means a lot of drop and 11 inches of sweep. So it's the two-plane movement you want to see. It's horizontal and it's vertical break. Really like to see that. I mean, Dasan Hill is a name that you want. Like, he is somebody that's really moldable. I would say the Twins are underrated pitch dev system. I know it hasn't like super panned out yet for them, but I really like Dasan Hill in the system. I think he's really, really good. I'm excited about what he brings to the table. There's some more pitchers, but we need to move on to some hitters. Let's take a quick break, and we will be right back. All right, we're back. Let's talk some hitters. It wasn't as big of a weekend for hitters, I'll say that. It didn't stand out like the pitchers did, but there were some interesting performances. I want to talk about Hector Rodriguez of the Cincinnati Reds. He has a massive fan base, by the way. People love Hector Rodriguez, and they have for a long time. Not new development, but Rodriguez had an awesome weekend. He had a ton of hits. He had 2 homers. He had 8 hits in 3 games, Friday through Sunday. 8 hits, 2 homers, and a triple. Swinging the bat super well. Most important thing, though, I don't give a rip about the homers. I don't give a rip about the triple. He's walking. He's showing a better approach. We are talking about a player that ran a 50+% chase rate in 2023, like the worst chase rate in the minors. And last year, it wasn't much better. He's like 45, 46%. Don't have the number in front of me, but he got better, but not really. But this year, he's swinging much less, and he's being much more patient in the box. I think that's what you should know about Hector Rodriguez more than anything. He's always hit. He's always made a lot of contact, and he's always had this profile. It's like, how does this work? How do you swing at 60% of pitches and chase 50% of pitches out of the zone and put up decent slash lines? Makes no sense. There's some interesting pop there with Hector Rodriguez. He can hit for some homers. He's hit like 10 plus for the last couple of seasons, and he's got 2 now this year, both in this weekend. So obviously notable, but Rodriguez can swing it. It's not a new thing. Contact rates at 78% right now. He can hit the ball hard on occasion. Like, I think he's had a couple of 110 pluses the last couple of years. Like, there's some juice in there. If the swing decisions stick, then I feel comfortable moving Hector Rodriguez up. Like, right now, I was kind of out on him. I just don't like a guy that chases as much out of the zone as he does. Remember Yanquiel Fernandez? Everybody claimed that he's Yordan Alvarez. Well, he's not, because he chases 45% of the time out of the zone and has his entire career. It's not new development. If Hector Rodriguez is legit with the plate discipline gains, I'll give him the recognition he deserves. He's 21 in Double-A, Cincinnati Reds org, so there you go. Mo Baller, Moises Ballesteros had a big weekend as well. He had 5 hits between Saturday's doubleheader. And then on Sunday, he had 2 more, so 7 hits in 2 days, but 3 games. So 7 hits there. Didn't have a homer, didn't light the world on fire or anything, but he has a 14-game hitting streak. Hector Rodriguez has a 12-game hit streak, by the way. But Moises Ballesteros has him beat with 14 straight. He's been on base nearly every game this season. He's young, 21. He's 21 years old and 5 months in AAA. Remember, he got called to AAA as a 20-year-old last year, which is interesting. He hits the ball hard. He has a 107-mile-an-hour 9th percentile exit velocity, hard hit rate of 46%. And he's doing this while maintaining really solid contact skills. End zone at 82%, overall at 80%. So it's really good contact skills. His approach is the same as always. He's like 30% chase. That's kind of where he's always been for his career. But yes, Moises Ballesteros is polarizing. I get that. I'm polarized by him. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not a catcher, but everybody's clamoring, call him up to the Cubs. He needs to develop as a catcher, guys. If you want the best Ballesteros long-term, you want him to develop in the minors as a catcher, because he sure ain't going to be a first baseman. I'll tell you that. He's 5'7". He's not being a first baseman. And if you have a DH like this, like, they've really got to hit, and he loses value too as a DH. You want Moises Ballesteros catching for this entire year in AAA and developing. That's what you want, Cubs fans. That's what you want, dynasty owners. That's the best case scenario for Mo Baller. But really good stuff, like what I saw and have seen from him. Seen him a couple times live. He's a really good look. Other guys of note, George Lombard. I mean, I was low on him last year, and for good reason. Like, I saw him live. I went to the Florida State League. I saw him play. He had a lot of things that just were working against him. But I'm not sure any player put in more work this offseason than George Lombard Jr. did. He transformed his body, for one. He looks better than ever. He transformed his swing. It looks better than ever. And the results have shown. Now, he's not been flashy. Like, he was good last year, but not great. He's a good athlete. He got better, in my opinion. He's hitting the ball harder now. I mean, he had a good weekend. Not like anything super crazy, but he's been on base in 17 of 19 games thus far. He had 4 hits between Saturday and Sunday. He's slashing 306, 494, 452. Really, really good swing decisions for George Lombard Jr. He's a homer. He has 6 extra base hits and 9 stolen bases to this point. So George Lombard Jr. of the New York Yankees, he is a dude. Max Anderson, Detroit Tigers, that was a surprising name, honestly. Like, he's somebody that I followed because he got drafted by the Tigers back in 2023. He kind of popped pretty early in his pro debut, if I'm not mistaken. And then he struggled. Like, he was fine, but he's hitting the ball really well. Last year, he hit just 11 home runs and 549 plate appearances. He's up to 4 home runs already in 7 doubles in 18 games. He had a 411-foot homer this weekend. It was smoked. And while he doesn't walk often, he's aggressive. He's putting a lot of balls in play and making things happen. He's got a solid 76% contact rate, which is fine. Like, that will play. So I'm not overly worried about that. It's an interesting profile. Does it stick? We'll see. I'm not too sure yet, but I am keeping a close eye on the situation for sure, because if there is legit power gains, then I'm kind of interested. Mike Sirota is a hot name. He's somebody that everybody's kind of talking about, but he's a college draftee in single A. Please get this man to high A. I understand that Great Lakes, the Dodgers team, has a ton of outfield talent, but please get Mike Sirota to high A. He does not need to be in Rancho Cucamonga. Just doesn't. The Cal League's too easy for him. The underlying data is fascinating. Like, it's not as good as you'd think. The contact skills they're okay. You'd like to see more from a 21-year-old in single A that played college ball. But again, Sirota was talked about as a first-round pick entering the 2024 season. He kind of struggled a little bit at Northeastern, and then he was drafted later on, I think 4th round by the Reds. Dodgers liked him enough to trade for him this offseason. When the Dodgers trade for somebody, I'm paying attention. Same with the Rays. And Mike Sirota, off to a great start. 368, 455, 649 slash, 11 extra base hits in 14 games. So Sirota, really good stuff. I'm not shoving Sirota up my ranks until the underlying data improves and we see him in high A. So you can kind of keep waiting on that. I like Sirota. I feel comfortable where I have him around like the 300 overall range, but he's kind of going to stay there. Yeah, it's fine stuff. I'm not like thinking he's going to be a superstar or anything. Final guy I do want to talk about was Jared Thomas, outfield prospect from Texas University in the Colorado Rockies org. 2nd-round pick last year, 42nd overall. Jared Thomas is a fascinating player. He's got good pop. He's got some athleticism as well. Thomas had a really good weekend. Again, he had 6 hits over the weekend. He had a triple and a homer. And honestly, you look back to last week, and it was really good as well. He had 3 3-hit games and a 2-hit performance, like just an absurd week in general for Jared Thomas. 3 home runs. He's up to 4 home runs on the year, and he has 4 stolen bases. I like Thomas coming out of the draft. I wasn't overly high on him. I think I'd have him in the 50s in my FYPD rankings. So if that seems like it ends up being low, like, I'll be accountable to that. But Jared Thomas is a fun player. Awesome week for sure, in a really, really good team. I think that team's pretty fun, that the Rockies high A team, and he looked the part. I mean, we saw another guy in their work, LeBaron Thomas Jr. had a really good weekend. They had some guys. I forgot to talk about one pitcher that I do want to talk about, and this is a pitcher that's not putting up flashy numbers. So, like, when you look, you're going to be like, okay, like, why does this matter? Chris Cortez of the Los Angeles Angels. Cortez was the closer for Texas A&M last year. The Angels drafted him 2nd round, and I think everybody expected him to just be shoved to the majors in a relief role. That would have made the most logical sense, and it probably would have worked. Like, Chris Cortez can really pitch, and he can really pitch out of the pen. The pitch data on Cortez is absurd. Now, the command is shaky. He had a 6-walk start, his first pro start earlier in this year, and then he had a 4-walk start this past week. So, like, yeah, that's not great. He's got 12 walks on the year in 18 innings. Again, 10 of them came from 2 starts. The other starts are 5 innings with 1 walk each. But the stuff is just so good with Chris Cortez. Like, I'm going to pull up the data on him because I really like what he brings to the table. And also, like, we got to realize that Cortez was going from a reliever, throwing basically 2 pitches. Now he's, like, looking significantly different, throwing a 95, 98 mile an hour sinker with like 18 inches of arm side run consistently. Like, that's absurd. He's throwing a cutter / like gyro slider. He relies a lot on that. And last year, he was just fastball slider for what it's worth. Like, that's all he threw. Now he's throwing a sweeper, like with 15 inches of horizontal this way. And he's throwing a changeup that's like 0 IVB. It's almost like splitter-esque, like 0 IVB and like 16 inches that way. It's like 12 to 16 horizontal. So we're talking about like 30 inches of horizontal separation between the sweeper and the changeup. We're talking about fastball that gets legit like carry, or I say carry, but legit arm side run on it. Maybe he's not the flashiest, but I think Cortes is going to be really good. And if this starter thing works for him, watch out. So I think that people are underrating Chris Cortes. The pitch data really has my eye on him. So if you stay doing the show, you get that good note there because the pitch data is really good. And I'm really fascinated with Chris Cortes and what he brings to the table, despite what the numbers say. So if you stuck around this long, thank you. And once again, this is the only place to find me now, at least my voice on the microphone. So if you would, please subscribe to this channel on YouTube, subscribe. Please subscribe on your favorite podcast platform as well. Why do I ask? Because I left a show that was averaging like 4,000 to 5,000 downloads a show. They were automatic downloads. People just subscribed and automatically downloaded. Now I'm going back to a basis where I don't have a download base. So I'm asking you if you would help me. If you enjoy my work, please, it's simple. It's free. This is a free avenue to support my work by just subscribing. So if you would, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.